I'm your host, Watermelon, the Weed Diva. And today's recipe is granola. It's granola with a half a gram in every serving. Today's granola recipe is going to make 18 servings, so I'm going to weigh up 9 grams of shake flour. We did an episode of shake flour. You should watch it. It's very helpful. If you're not using shake flour and you're using the lovely nuggetry we talked about, then you're going to use 4.5 grams. In this case, this is much more potent in THC and you want to use a lot less. But I'm using shake flour today, so I'm going to weigh up 9 grams. Okay. Now, fun fact about cannabis is if you just to eat it dry, there would be no active effects of it. You need to heat it up or decarboxylate it. So you usually do that with a fat or some kind of heat. I'm using coconut oil today. Coconut oil is good because it likes a high heat. Olive oil, not so good. It doesn't like a high heat. Grapeseed oil, high heat. Peanut oil, high heat. Very simply, you're going to take these two things and you're going to put them in a saucepan on low heat and get them converting together while you start preparing the rest of our ingredients. So follow me. Okay, well that's converting low and slow for 5 minutes. Let's talk about the ingredients we want to use. Today I'm using 4 cups of rolled oats. I have 1 cup of cassia. You can use any grain. I want to add 1 cup of chia because it's chock full of nutritional content. We're going to add 1 cup of hemp hearts, which you'll add at the end because you don't want to cook hemp hearts. You want to leave all that nutritional content in place. I've chosen for nuts today. You can use any nut, but I have chopped walnuts and peanuts. I have a half a cup of each, and I've also got a half a cup of chopped dates. Again, any dried fruit you like, raisins is great too. So we also have a ratio for our mixture, our oil sugar ratio. It's 1/3 cup, 1/3 cup, 1/3 cup. So it's an equal ratio of 1/3 of a cup of maple syrup, 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar, and I have 1/3 of a cup of coconut oil on the stove with 9 grams of shake flour in it. We're going to mix all these together. I'm going to add the sugar and the maple syrup to emulsify with the shake flour oil, and then we're going to mix it all together and toast it in the oven. Okay, so you see our cannabis here converting in the 1/3 of a cup of coconut oil, and we want to emulsify that's the sound of heaven, with some sugar. You just mix this all together. So we've added our brown sugar and our maple syrup to the coconut oil and cannabis, and we're emulsifying them together. And the other thing I like to do is add my spices right in here. And my spices today is a little bit of clove, not too much on the spice, and a little bit of cinnamon. You can go extra on the cinnamon, of course. God, that smells so good. Okay, now I'm going to just turn that off for a second. We'll let it cool down briefly, and we'll come back and we'll assemble our ingredients. All right, this is the funnest part. We're just going to add it all together. 4 cups of oats, cassia, chia. I go nuts for nuts. Dried dates. So simple. And everything, everybody, everything needs a pinch of salt. Every recipe does. Okay, I just put my hands in there. We're going to mix it all up. I like to use my hands when I cook. I think it's one of the senses that doesn't get used very much. You smell it, you taste it, but very few people touch their food. Okay. Now that's all assembled, we very simply are going to grab our emulsified oil and sugar and pour it in here. Okay. You want to give this a super good stir now. You just want to get it all mixed up. I think I'm going to put my hands in it again. We just get messy. That's what the kitchen gets messy. Okay. You just want to keep your hands dirty. And then we're going to take some casserole dishes for toasting. This one wasn't quite big enough. I think it'll take too long, so I'm going to use 2. Speed it up so we can get our granola faster. Okay. It smells good enough to eat right now, but give it time. It's going to be even better. Out. So, you're going to preheat your oven to 300 degrees, and then you're going to toast these for approximately 40 minutes. Every oven is a little bit different. You want to keep an eye on your oven, and about every 15 minutes you want to go in and maybe toss your granola around and put it back into toast. So, let's put it in the oven. We've been toasting our granola for a good 40 minutes, and we're going to take it out of the oven now. That is such a good smell. Now, our fresh hemp hearts, I'm going to only add half because I have another tray in the oven. So add your fresh hemp hearts. Chock full of nutritional content. Give it a bit of a stir. Here's the greatest thing about granola. 1, it's vegan, so it's friendly for everybody. 2, it lasts a long time. We're going to put it in these mason jars and it's going to keep for a very long time. And 3, you almost can't screw up a granola. You can use any fruit, any nut, any grain you want. So I'm reminiscent of those little cereal boxes you used to open up and you could pour the milk right in. So instead, I'm just going to use a little mason jar. We're not going to fill it all the way. We're just going to fill it about 3/4 full, so there's enough room for you to add your yogurt or your milk or your cashew milk or whatever you want. Fill another one, show you how it's done. So easy. Make sure you get a few nuts and seeds in there. What you have is granola. It's wholesome, it's hearty, and it's a bit of a party.